You are tuned in to On Air with Chris Shanafelt. Welcome back on air as we continue our Player Spotlight series with the 2020 NFL Draft Class. I'm your host, Chris Shanafelt, and I'm now joined by the standout cornerback out of Tarleton State University. He's Prince Robinson. Prince, I really appreciate you taking the time. How's everything going, man?
It's going good. How you doing?
Doing well. Really excited to have you on. Certainly one of the under-the-radar prospects that come Pro Day will be on the radar of many, not only in the media world, but the NFL world as well. So for those listening, Prince, just to give some background on you, you played for one of the top JUCO football programs in the country at Trinity Valley Community College. What was the JUCO life like for you? I know it wasn't until your sophomore year when you made the switch to the defensive side of the ball as you were a receiver during your freshman year, but dating back to your North Forest High School days, you were an all-state cornerback coming out of Houston, Texas. What went into the position change initially coming out of high school to wide receiver and then back to defensive back your sophomore year at Trinity Valley?
When I had got to JUCO, that they told me that they needed more speed on the offensive side, and that my speed would help the team a lot. So I wasn't really mad or anything about this position change up. But then I see I had to okay a receiver. So my sophomore year, my coach asked me what I wanted to do, for as going back to DB or staying receiver, and not having a chance to play DB in college yet. I just wanted to give it a shot and see, if I still had that in me.
And you definitely still had it in you. Your first year at defensive back, you racked up 47 tackles and 4 interceptions. A lot of times people say, defensive backs are just wide receivers. They just struggle with catching the football. That was not the case with you. Not only that first year back to playing defensive back, Prince, but then obviously the following couple of years as well. What was the recruiting process like for you coming out of the JUCO level, though, Prince? How did you ultimately decide on attending Tarleton State?
Well, when I left JUCO, I only had 2 offers, and that was from Central Oklahoma and Tarleton State. And as I was going on a visit, I went to Central Oklahoma. It didn't feel like somewhere I could be for the next 2 years. But then when I went to Tarleton, it was open arms. It's like I was back at home with my granny and my mom. So I just feel more comfortable there. So that's why I chose going there.
So you arrive on campus at Tarleton State in 2018, and right away you bring an added spark to the defensive side of the ball. You started in all 13 games. You racked up 61 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 15 pass breakups, and 5 interceptions. And, watching your tape, you're all over the field. You bring a special physicality trait to the defensive backfield, and it didn't stop there either, Prince, as you're one of the top return men in the country on special teams as well. You had 1 kickoff return that went for a touchdown. You had 1 punt return that went for a touchdown. You're named first team All-Lone Star Conference at defensive back, and then was voted Special Teams Player MVP. Tarleton State football program would go on a historic playoff run that season. You guys finished 12-1. I'm sure it was all, if not more than what you expected when you initially arrived to Stephenville, Texas, Prince. But how did it feel to have that immediate impact on one of the top teams in the country?
It felt good. I ain't think I accomplished that all that first year. I thought we had a little more to work on as we came in, due to the fact that everybody was still getting to know each other, all the 4-year guys and JUCO guys. I thought we had a lot more to work on. But it all turned out to be pretty good as we got along and as we went through the season.
And then looking at this past season as a senior for you, Prince, you guys finished 11-1, and you pretty much picked up where you left off at, recording 57 tackles, 13 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, and a forced fumble. You would think teams would have known not to target your direction, but when you have guys like Benji Franklin back there as well, and B.J. Jefferson and Jordan Wells wreaking havoc in the backfield, it's pretty tough. Just talk about the playmaking ability and trait that comes with your game, Prince, and what it was like to play on the same defense with some of the names I just mentioned. How were you guys able to come together and become one of the top defensive units in the country?
We was greedy. We was out greedy, so it was when it came down to it, when we in a huddle, we was all trying to get to the ball first. It was from BJ to Jordan to me and Benji. We was just always in basically competition with each other, trying to outdo each other. So it's like when the ball was in the air, we just had to take advantage of it every time. But when BJ or Jordan was close to the sack, they just had to get it every time. And that's why they like led the nation in sacks. So it was really just competing with each other through practice and through games.
And of course, your junior season, your teammates with linebacker E.J. Speed, who turned himself into a fifth-round draft pick by the Colts. Has he, by any chance, given you any advice as you now look to embark on the same journey that he went through this time last year?
Yeah, I talked to him. He just told me like to stay up and keep working hard no matter what. Don't let up. So I've been doing that.
Again, we're chatting with 2020 NFL Draft prospect, defensive back out of Tarleton State University, Prince Robinson. And Prince, I see the Tarleton State official website has you listed at 6 feet, 190 pounds. Is that accurate? I know sometimes those listings could be a little bit off. Can you just give us a current update on your current listings?
Yeah, I'm 6 feet, 193 right now, though.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Good to have that confirmed. And obviously, coming up, you have one of the biggest job interviews of your life up to this point, and that would be your pro day. Some thought that you deserved an invite to Indianapolis for the NFL Combine that will be taking place this week, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. First things first, are you surprised that you didn't receive an invite to the NFL Combine? I know that's obviously out of your control, but again, I truly felt that you had a great shot at getting an invite. And secondly, when and where will your pro day take place at?
Our pro day will be March 29th at Alito High School. And as far as not getting the invite, I mean, like, I'm out of surprises, so I want, I don't just expect everything, so I wouldn't really mad or anything about it. It just happens. I just gotta do better on my pro day and worry about that.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big thing for you, obviously. And being a smaller school prospect, Prince, is that something that you kind of take pride in? And I mentioned E.J. Speed was drafted by the Colts last year, but it's not every year that a prospect comes out of Tarleton State. So now you guys are starting to build this hotbed of talent and pushing the talent out on a pretty consistent level, at least over the past couple of years. Does it kind of make you proud of where you're coming from and knowing that it's somewhat of a unique journey?
I mean, yeah, I got a unique journey. It's very hard coming out of D2 with all the D1 guys, and they get all like the Senior Bowl advice and all of the combine advice. So it's kind of hard, for D2 guys. But I feel like it happened for a reason. So I just gotta make the best out of what I got. Play the cards I was up.
That's it. That's all you can do. Looking at that pro day, March 29th, Prince. Do you have any goals, any specific numbers in mind that you'd like to record? I know there's some rumblings that you might be a 4.3, 4.4 40-yard dash guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm gonna get the best in all of my times on every event, but I'm trying to run like a 4.2.
A 4.2.
I'm there. Yeah, I'm kind of there.
Where are you training at? Where are you training at for your pro day?
South Lake. It's like 30 minutes from Dallas at Fast Performance and Fitness.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, obviously that will turn a lot of heads if you could hit a 4.3, 4.4, but obviously if you run that 4.2, that'll certainly open up a lot of eyes. Who are some players that you like to model your game after, Prince? I mean, I mentioned it earlier, you're a ball hawk defensive back, but I think what impresses me even more so than that is just the physicality you bring to the cornerback position. That kind of seems to be a trait that's kind of getting lost in cornerbacks nowadays, but that's not the case for you.
Yeah. I think it's just because when I was a receiver, I used to tell my cousin, let me block him. So I used to be like, I used to be a dog when it comes to blocking. So I just gotta keep that in me. But I like Tyrann Mathieu like very, very like a lot, and I like Denzel Ward too.
Okay. Yeah, obviously two of the top cornerbacks, defensive backs in general in the NFL, so certainly cannot go wrong there. And Prince, I'm a big fan of your teammate wide receiver Zamari Manning. In my opinion, the best wide receiver in Division II football.
For sure.
I mean, everything you look for in a wide receiver. What is it like going up against Manning every day in practice? Where does he rank in terms of the players that you've lined up against over the years? What were those battles like?
It's basically like a game day. It's embarrassing if you don't come with it. But like when I talk to like NFL teams, they ask me who the best person you win against. I always look smart. I mean, no matter what, they be like, now you got to pick some different team. I was like, nah, it's smart. You know, it's like, if you catch it, I don't know. It's like if it touches hands, you gonna catch it. Even if it's one hand, one finger, probably catch it with his feet. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, as I said, I mean, more than just yourself coming out of Tarleton State this year. I mean, you guys got some really good prospects to be on the lookout for, especially for those not familiar with Tarleton State football. Final question, then I'll let you go, Prince. Really appreciate your time. It's a question I end all of my prospect interviews with, and that's, let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers. They're listening to this very interview. Why should they want the cornerback out of Tarleton State, Prince Robinson, a part of their team?
I bring a unique game that's not rare. It's running out of DV, so I feel like I'm dying of a last breed.
Yeah, and I would echo those sentiments, man. So, I really appreciate you taking the time, Prince. Congratulations on all the success, coming from where you came from, overcoming the adversity that you've had to go through, and taking a unique journey to get to where you're at today. It's a lot of fun watching your game. I'm really looking forward to seeing you put up some eye-opening numbers on that March 29th Pro Day, and really excited to see what the next couple of months have in store for you, man.
All right, thank you.